Okay, I'm sorry to do better with recording on zooming further. This is the best I get almost. So I might try and make a picture of it, and maybe you can tell what's written on. Right, but as soon I zoom further, you see it totally fills the autofocus. So I'm sorry. Right. So So with my reading glasses on, what it reads is A2030V, and then something like U7 and a logo. That's no, I'm not sure what that logo is. Vaguely resembles something, but so anyways, because I checked it, it's just a standard power amplifier, and so we replace it. I forgot what the rating was. I'll try to link a data sheet or something. The other thing, of course, to worry here are those capacitors. It's funny that over here are like totally modern style capacitors, right? And then we got those, maybe they're like film capacitors. This one is series with input. Let's see where. Yeah, see? So here is just your just a capacitor on the input, right? Over here we got some tone control, and apparently another op-amp was or too expensive or they didn't have one, right? But a one transistor preamplifier and tone, maybe active tone control. Oh, there's another transistor here, right? So we probably have one transistor then for the preamplifier and possibly overdrive, but I don't see anything that even looks like overdrive. And then so a two-stage preamp. Again, probably for active tone control. I'm not gonna plot that out, but if anyone wants to, right? So the mystery component here is this. I really wonder if that's a capacitor, or if that's something else. And there's two ways to try to work that out. One way is reading. I mean, there's obviously markings on it are 680, well, and then there's something. Oh, I'm such a disaster. I keep losing all my stuff even if I sit right here. So 680, yeah, it's almost a K or something, or an N or a 1 with something mirrored, right? And the construction, it's So I think it's a capacitor. For the rest, I'm not sure what they're doing here. I see some passives, I see the power supply going right to the op amp. There's not any sign of overdrive or whatever. I just want to bleep this one through for a second, right? I'm abusing the fact that the so let's start, see if we measure a resistance in the first place, right? I have to look again where it is for the it's between them two leads. And it decides the power off. Dummy Chinese, I'm using it. So we measure some resistance over here, but fairly constant. So I almost assume this is a it is a capacitor, right? Right. Not a diode. So so far the most boring analysis. So now how to get proper access to this print for soldering. That's gonna be our biggest headache today. We could just unscrew the transformer and then have soldering access to that, but I'd rather, if I knew how, I'd rather have the whole print off. It's almost like the things that are holding it in place are this very knob, this knob, and the power op amp itself. I don't see any, I mean I see a metal bracket there but no screws. So I wonder if that construction could have to do with this op amp being damaged, that it just had a physical damage, a bump or whatever that put mechanical stress on the thing, or that it broke because if it overheated. Right, either way, we're not overly happy. So I sort of assume that this side you just see, but here is a problem. This is plate one. Oh, this plate can totally unhook if this one happens to fit. That's cute. Oh, I like the construction so far. It's a bit unorthodox, but seriously not too bad. That's really not too bad what they've done here, because this really allows for a nice so now we have I'm not sure. I'm doing that right. Yes. Okay. So and that's before we do that. Let's do our last man. Look, it's actually, they did not even tap into the thing. They actually, that's really awesome, amazing. I don't expect any heat paste. I'm not sure that what's this thing. Look, I felt a ring too. It's really working. There it is. See? So let's keep those together for the moment. Now if we unhook that, how many wires we gonna get just to this oh, and here a bunch too. I wondered if I didn't go the wrong route. I have to unscrew them too. First is just a transformer and have this mounted up. That actually makes sense to do it that way, because then if I solder in a new one, I can make sure it's leveled. So we're gonna take the other route. Leave the buttons alone. I put them back, right? And let's where did I start? And a washer. Unbelievable. They actually used washers in those days. Come on. We have to use pliers. I wonder if I could just see. I think this one too. It's a bit annoying that like them cables, right? Everything's still connected, and then work on two sides of the board. That's not really too comfortable. Notice that I also didn't check the fuse yet. Normally the first thing to do, but we'll do in a second. But since that op amp is failing and not necessarily has a reason to blow the fuse. Depending on the failure mode. Not sure what fell off there. It was some piece of plastic, something. Wherever it came in. Oh, it was. Oh, it's one of the mounting brackets. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Right. And when we solder, we need to be like under there, so we also gonna slightly make some space here. That will do. And hopefully you just have enough room. It's a bit of a puzzle. It's a bit of a puzzle. It's seriously a bit of a puzzle, and I hope I don't break wires or any more wires, right? But I might have to undo more even, because this is right where we need to solder. So. But we're jumping with joy too. If only they made it like 1 inch longer, we could have put it on the other side. So anyways, I think if it's accessible like this. So let's get rid of this case, which we should have done long ago. Right. That's from somewhere too. Interesting. Good that I got it on video, because I wouldn't know where it was. Okay. So the next thing we need is like a soldering iron. And get this bunkers. Why is it all the way bent already? And get this one off. And if all is well, pinning, etc. is normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might need some glasses though. For doing this. So let me grab that. I see the batteries are running a bit flat, so